Hey guys, so the goal of this live stream premiere that I'm doing, it's going to be pre-recorded. So it's going to be a premiere video that's going to go out. This is part 2 to Michelle's cousin. I don't want to call it a clapback. I really feel like she's trying to have people look out for the signs of people like Queen Ops and Danny's, and to understand the position her cousin played and the family played, and people in general play, being victims to predators. And she's speaking some wisdom alongside with, digging in Queen Ops. Then Queen Ops, she is also want you to take away something from it so that history doesn't repeat it. And if not in your life or with someone just history not repeating itself with a character like Queen Opp being allowed to do this for decades online and destroying someone's life ultimately.
What's good, y'all? I hope everyone is doing well. Listen, I wear many hats. And today I have on my content creator hat. Okay? I have on my content creator hat. But before I get into this archetypal ancient energy, I was observing everyone's theories and presumptions on why Opp and Danny's court date has gotten back. And I know a lot of people are disappointed, because the true 1% Shell supporters, they really do want to see justice. They really do want to get justice for Shell. They want to see Shell vindicated. Other people, they having a love-hate relationship. And yeah, what I mean, they wanted to be a little bit uncomfortable because she made them mad or whatever. But the true 1% Shell supporters, they really do want to get justice for Shell. So I know that you all are disappointed with the court date being pushed back. My firsthand experience with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's criminal court system and how they operate. It could be a number of different reasons why. A lot of y'all are saying that the prosecution is reviewing all of the videos so that they can build a solid case. That could be true. I hope so. I hope that's what they're doing. I really do. But again, just speaking from my firsthand experience dealing with them, it could also be the defense filing motions to buy more time so that they can get the best deal for these clowns up and down. So yeah, it could be either or. It could be either or, you know.
Yeah, and that's what the scary part is. She's right. It could go either way. It could be they're trying to get the possible sweetest deal for Danny and Queen Op, where of course they would plea out. Or it could be that they're trying to get the most credible evidence that would convince a jury that the innocent of the crimes and that they should be punished to the highest extent of the law. But that's in a perfect world. So, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. We just have to hope for the best. We also have to understand that our system is flawed. It's not flawless. It's flawed. It has a lot of flaws in the system. They don't always play fair. And people that should be locked up aren't, and then ones that should be locked up are. And sometimes the victims don't always get what is rightfully should be theirs, and that's justice. So she's preparing people that are spectators or supporters or the 1%ers, the ones that want justice for Michelle, and don't want to see Queen Opp get away with the crimes and Danny, that they committed. But we have to prepare ourselves because we don't know what the outcome can be, and it could be very disappointing. We could think the worst case scenario, and like Michelle's cousin said, it could be that they're moving up the date so that they can prepare a sweet deal for them. So they get slapped on the wrist and Michelle doesn't win. She's just 15 years of mental um um abuse and no justice. And now if she really wants to get herself healed, years and years of counseling behind it. It's really, really sad.
We'll see how it turns out. Again, I don't think she's going to do any time. I think at best they'll give her probation. Now, Danny, on the other hand, the police were called. She's on camera. She's on camera assaulting her. So I don't know. Again, I hope they're reviewing the videos. I honestly do. I really do. But as far as me and how I'm dealing with, I'm gonna let everybody else do the little roasting sessions and cracking jokes on it. I'm gonna let everybody else do that. I mean, the type of time I'm on when it comes to I'm way past roasting her having BV. And man, she roasts herself on having BV. She's already embraced how trifling she is. She's embraced being disease infested. She's embraced having a bunch of kids that she can't take care of. I'm way past the roasting sessions. I'm gonna let everybody else do that, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I know what I'm doing here. Okay. So yeah, again, I know y'all are disappointed, but at the end of the day, I'm here. I'm here now. So we just have to wait it out and see. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is very overwhelmed with cases. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If somebody's not like really on their deathbed, you can forget it as far as CPS and somebody getting a lot of time. This right here, they see this all day, every day. Again, I do hope that they're the videos, but don't hope so high. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, we're gonna break down the Obster archetype. And once again, sent smoking on Queen Opp and true shell also served as a reminder. Because remember in the interview, I mentioned how I wanted to discuss with you all the Queen Opp energy, an ancient force that has been in existence throughout human history. Okay? And we know that an archetype or archetypal energy is a universal pattern of behavior that has its own set of traits. And the people that embody the Queen Opp energy can be referred to as Obsters. Why am I doing this video? To caution
And she's right. They're referred to as obsters. And she has a whole bunch of obsters. She has obsters that feed Queen Opp's ego. And that also is what got her in trouble. So don't really sleep on the disrespect that she gives to supporters or her haters, because the the one that she really hates the most is herself. And hurt people hurt people. And this is how Michelle got caught up, because the obster identified Michelle as the weakest link. She only gravitates and has in the company of her people that are the weakest link. Their followers, they don't have a mind of themselves. Their self-esteem is low. They feel like they're alienated. They can't go to family and friends. No one loves them. When they look in the mirror, they don't see a pretty person. And those are the kind of people that Queen Opp gravitates to, and they gravitate towards her. and she basically exploits them. So I really want you guys to pay attention to what the cousin's saying, because a lot of people were on this cloud chasing thing, and she came out with the woodwork with the real reason why she wants to be on here. And one is to get justice for her cousin Michelle, and two is to educate so that this doesn't happen again.
And draw attention to people who embody this foul, grimy spirit, because best believe it's as foul as they come. It's a very foul, grimy spirit. Hold up. Another reason I'm doing this video, to help you identify certain traits and characteristics and behaviors, both obvious and subtle, seen and unseen, so that you can unmask the people who embody the spirit and see them more clearly. That's very important. Having the ability and the skill, that's a skill. Unmasking people, that's one of the most important soft skills that you can ever gain in this realm in life. Because we all wear masks, right? You're not the same person at work among your co-workers and management than with your girlfriends when y'all go out. You're not the same person. So we all wear masks, right? That's just what it is. It's human nature. But again, one of the reasons why I'm doing this is so that you can unmask the people who embody this foul, grimy spirit and see them more clearly, because they're all around. Again, man, they're like roaches. They don't die, they multiply. For real. Another reason I'm doing this video, so that you can observe more cautiously and consciously who and what is around you, so that you make wiser choices in the people that you choose to have around, not only you, but your loved ones. There's a lot of people out here. They have these type of people that carry this ancient archetypal foul, grimy energy. They have them around their children. They have them around their children. This is why when you log in to the internet, countless tragic stories of children who have been unalived and sexually violated by the mother's boyfriend. I mean, or whatever. Somebody foul that she had around, that she trusted, but that she also had around her child or her children. So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. And also, just in general, to help you live a more discerning and insightful life. Once you learn the art of discernment, of course, it takes more than that. But I'm telling you, discernment is everything. But you have to trust your discernment. A lot of people, especially women, right? Because we tend to operate from our heart chakra. So it is my belief that as women in this realm, that we are more connected to source. I'm not saying that men aren't, but because we're women and because we think differently than men and operate differently, it is my belief that we operate more from the heart chakra. This is why people associate the feminine with nurturing, right? So
This might be a little bit off topic, but I honestly really think that what got Michelle kind of caught up and staying with Queen Opp this long and not leaving, and the police happened to come in to rescue her on a wellness check is the fact that she put in time with Queen Opp. Queen Opp probably has never had anyone, not even a man in a relationship, that spent that much time with Michelle. And Michelle just had in her heart, because as the mammals that we are as women, we're very forgiving. And we have to understand it's okay sometimes not to forgive people that do wrong by you. It's sometimes okay to how can I say, you might not forgive what they did, um, but you don't hate them. You just know that you can't have them in your circle. People always say it's better than you forgive, but you never forget. I don't believe in that. I believe you don't have to forgive anything that's wrongfully done purposely on you. But you have to know that that person's not for you and move on with your life. You can still feel the way you feel, because those emotions are there for a reason. God gave you those emotions for a reason. Tears are there for a reason. And you're human, just like the person who did you wrong is human. And yes, we always have to use discernment. I don't mean, you can not forgive them and then go out and unalive them and get your freedom taken. But sometimes we have to distance ourselves from people that are not for us. They're against us. They don't want to see good by us. You can feel the energy of these people. And with all of us, we still stay around. That's what got Michelle in the situation that she got into with Queen Op.
That's why I'm doing this video, because me understanding how women operate, but you need discernment. So I'm doing this to help you lead a more discerning and insightful life. This breakdown is based on my firsthand experiences encountering these people and observing other people's experiences. Okay? You can't get all of life's questions and answers from a book. And although I'm an avid reader, everybody that knows me personally knows I am an avid reader. I love to read. I love it. Oh my God, ever since I was a child, 3 years old, my grandmother taught me how to read at 3. It was a wrap from there. I love to read. I love it. And I always get something out of what I'm reading. I take, even if it's a fiction book, even though I stopped reading fiction in high school, all the urban fiction novels. I mean, after that, I started reading nonfiction, self-help, just nonfiction books. And I make sure that what I get from the book, I actually apply it in life. I experiment with the information. Even though I'm an avid reader, my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of human beings comes from firsthand experience, as well as observing other people's experiences. Right? So we know that op is short for opponent or opposition, as well as oppressor. So as we get into the behavior patterns and traits of this archetypal entity, please keep the words op, opponent, and opposition in the forefront of your mind. These are very important keywords that will help you connect the dots as I'm describing and as you're absorbing my descriptions. Will help you connect the dots. And you know what's crazy? We already have a name for that archetypal energy, that ancient entity, the Obster. We already have a name for it. The Obster, as an entity, is a perpetual enemy to every living being. And when I say every living being, I'm talking about humans, animals, even plants. Some people can't keep plants alive because the plants don't like them. The plants know that they're out. I know it's funny. It sounds funny or humorous, but it's the truth. These people are perpetual enemies to every living being. Not only your worst enemy, but also their own, because they are an active embodiment of chaos, disorder, confusion, and destruction.
I think that she described everything she said about the chaos and confusion and all that stuff. That's definitely Queen Opp. And I always say, and I'm going to keep saying it, misery loves company. A miserable person, they're not going to tell you they're miserable. You might see it on their face or you might hear in their voice or the behavior, but a miserable person. Now, there's people that are miserable. They're not happy with their life, but they don't want to bring the misery upon you. Those are okay people. You got to respect them because they're going through what they're going through. And they're not blaming nobody for what they're going through, and they're going through it. But you get people who are miserable with their own life and they don't want to see you happy because they're not happy. So misery loves company. Hurt people, and they're just full of chaos and confusion and everything that stands for negativity just to make them feel good. It's just a moment. It's almost like drinking to numb the pain. It's going to be there tomorrow. So all the chaos, these miserable people like the Queen Ops of the world and the Nature Boys of the world, they might cause friction and try to make you miserable for the day or the week or the year, whatever, how long you stay around them. But that pain and the disappointment of things that haven't happened in their life or why they're angry at the world or themselves and miserable, that will still be there in the morning. That is why it is very important to listen to what she's saying, because you can end up like a Michelle. We can say, oh, that wouldn't be me. You never know what the future holds and how your life, in a split second can change. And you can be with a person who you never would even allow to talk to you, treat you, or even you subject yourself to the miserable ways of that person because they're not happy with themselves. You may have said 5 years ago, I would never be with somebody like that or deal with somebody like that, and find yourself doing the same thing you said you would never do. So never say never, never look down on anybody, and never think that you're above life's classroom, because everybody can be in the same situation as Michelle or you or I may have went through, just like those people.
Care and being interested and concerned about the well-being and the emotional state and well-being of another person and their happiness. So giving them genuine love, whatever that means to you, is essentially asking them to reciprocate genuine love, which is ultimately going against their nature and purpose. You'll never experience a give and take, reciprocal, balanced relationship with the Obster archetype, because again, they are here to create chaos, confusion, disorder, and destruction. And y'all going to hear me repeat that a lot, because that's the foundation of the essence. That's the foundational essence of the archetype.
Like she said, they are here. Miserable people are here to cause chaos, confusion, and some people are miserable with oneself and they don't realize they're doing it. They think what they're doing is okay. They might even think they're miserable, or they're not feeling themselves and they're waking up with anger, and they think they may even convince themselves that there's a reason why that they treat you that way, because you deserve to be treated that way because you did or said something they didn't like. When all actuality is, they are not happy with their lives and they're trying to put that on you. And that's what Queen Opp did. Didn't matter what she looked like. So what? She looked better than Michelle. So what? She had a better shape than Michelle. Michelle was a peaceful person, a person who stayed in the house. She played games all day. Her mom was like a kid because was not happy with herself. She's miserable, even though she looks beautiful on the outside. She reminds people how beautiful she is. Those be the ones you got to watch. The ones that they think that they're the finest thing since sliced bread, but they be miserable. They really don't love themselves. They're making themselves believe that they're miss it or Mr. It. They're messed up and they want you to be messed up. And people used to say, "Oh, Michelle is crazy. She's retarded." But best believe Michelle, honestly, was probably a happier, more loving person, even through what she had to be subjected to by the mistreatment from Queen Opp than Queen Opp was. And she's supposed to be the pretty one. Queen Opp is. And Michelle was the ugly duckling, but you were mistreating her because you're not happy with yourself or how life turned out for you. So you just take it out on Michelle like she's a punching bag. But it's still not going to make you feel good because you have to change what's going on with you in order to be happy with oneself, in order to be able to know how to treat people. If you don't love yourself, if you think that you're treating yourself good by mistreating others, or like Queen Opp was doing, putting Michelle on Front Street, her being the butt of the joke around people that don't even got love for Queen Opp, they're laughing not only at Michelle, but they're laughing at Queen Opp, trying to clown Michelle around these people. But when those people go away, the only one is always there for Queen Opp was Michelle. So think about that. And those sometimes are the ones we hurt. The ones that love you and the ones that don't care about you are the ones you give the most respect to.
And they're also self-destructive. And as self-destructive as they always seem to land on their feet like a cat. Y'all notice that? Think about that for a minute. I remember as a kid, as a little girl, I remember just, kind of overhearing adults conversing about people that seem to live forever. I mean, the people that were nasty and vile and violent and just had very nasty, sordid ways. And I would hear the elders talking about how it seemed like, all the good people die young, all the good people leave here young. I have to be careful what I say as far as the algorithm. How the good leaves here young, and how all the nasty, vile, violent, after archetype, how they seem to just live on forever, right? So it seems like they always land on their feet like a cat. And that's because they're here to carry out a specific purpose. And again, they prefer to target a certain demographic. Already went over that demographic. And that also includes people who are naive, gullible, and desperate. And that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Remember, I said before, it's not about anyone agreeing with everything that I say. That's childish. That's child's play. We're all adults and we're all looking out at the world from our own subjective lens because we all have unique experiences. We may have similar experiences, but we're not the same. None of us are the same. It's impossible. There's no two people have had the same experience. They may have had a similar experience, but they haven't had the same experience. So again, it's not about anyone agreeing with everything that I say. I only want people around me, and I keep people around me, the people that I do have around me, that keep their thinking caps on. You know? So going back to the Obster archetype and their inability to receive genuine love from people, including their children. For them to welcome and receive genuine acts and genuine gestures of love, that means that they have to welcome and receive life. Let me say that again. For them to welcome and receive genuine acts of love means that they have to welcome and receive life. And their nature and purpose is opposite of life, which is death. Which is death. These people study death. What do I mean by that? They study death, meaning they're always contemplating ways to create chaos, confusion, disorder, and destruction, which leads to what? Death. And keep in mind, they consistently conjure up ways to bring death to whoever they target. And when I say that, I mean in all forms: physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, financial, etc. Right? These are extremely low vibrational beings.
She's so on point because she was saying that people that love chaos and confusion and they don't use discernment. They just do things because they're miserable and they want you to be miserable. She was pretty much saying all of that leads to is death, being unalive. Let's say the word unalive because it's not healthy. And it all stems from confusion, destruction, chaos, um, and spending it on her bills and herself, but using Michelle like a pawn. And every chance she got, she drained the life out of her. She drained the spiritual part. I'm quite sure Michelle had, what she believed in spiritually. She drained everything she possibly could, financially, everything she possibly could to break her. And she's right. It leads to being unalive. Let's use the word unalive instead of the word D, because you know how YouTube is. And that is why we have to use discernment. We have to make better judgments, and we have to listen to, if you don't know how to identify it, to people who can teach you how to identify these predators so you don't end up in the situation like a Michelle or like a person maybe that lives next door to you or your sister or brother, someone close to you that has been in a toxic relationship like that. And you know you can listen to this and maybe be able to help them if it's not too late.
And you can't expect them to say or do anything that is life affirming. You can't expect them to say or do anything that is life affirming. Again, that's why you feel drained and heavy around them. And you feel relieved and lighter when you're away from them. Real quick. A question was asked in the comments. Again, shout out to the 1%. A question was asked about Opp as to why it seems like she's always getting away with her actions. That was a good question. And I know a lot of people have that same question. Well, let's step back and look at what is. Let's step back and look at what is. Let's look at the timeline. Let's look at all of the facts. So, we already know, targeted someone who has special needs, whose family at one time opened their doors for her, and to this day are trying to sweep all of this under the rug. Okay, that's number one. Same thing with Opp baby father and his family. They too opened their door for her. And I can almost guarantee that his family will still open their doors for her, despite her disrespectful behavior. We all saw it on that one video when she went in there acting like she had rabies. I act like I know she, you know what I mean, disease infested. She act like she caught rabies. Went in there disrespectful. We all witnessed her disrespectful behavior at the baby father home. His mother and sister was there, and the mom's husband or whatever. And they still allowing this woman in their home. Why? Because she has a baby by him. So look at the circumstances. Look at the facts surrounding Opp. So again, she targeted someone who's special.
She wouldn't get no pass in my home. I have a son in his 30s and I have one grandbaby. You are not going to come into my home and be destructive because you do it in your home. And you do it over there with Michelle. And Danny came in the picture and you're doing it over there with Danny. You're not going to come in my home and disrupt my home and disrespect me in my home just because the people that gravitate themselves to you, Queen Opp, they allow you to do it. So you got to put your foot down, because if you don't, it gets worse. And that's where Michelle fell short. She kept allowing it. And people will take an inch to the next thing you know, it's a mile. It gets to the point where it's so out of control, you don't even recognize that person no more. But you stay in it because you hope for it to get better. But in a lot of cases, I'm not saying every case, it doesn't.
Needs, whose family was neglectful to this day, still trying to sweep it under the rug, opened their doors to her at one time. Same thing with the baby father and his family. So it only seems like she's getting over, and this is how I see it. Again, no one has to agree with me. This is how I see it. It only seems like she's getting over because she targets people that allow her to get over and get away with violations. And hold up. Another reason it seems like Opp has been getting away with violations and getting over is because of the vast amount of people who condoned, encouraged, and supported her violations for so long. Think about that.
I just said
The
that, you
overwhelming
guys.
support that Opp
Pay
has
attention.
gotten, even up to this day. The fact that people are still supporting her, still in love with her, while claiming to be Shell supporters, is astounding. It's astounding and very telling. Again, the vast majority of people that are invested in this, that have a love-hate relationship with her. This is also why it seems like she's been getting away. She's been supported. Again, there's more her supporters. There's more of her supporters than there are Shell supporters. It is what it is. The inconvenient truth. And as far as Danny is concerned, man, Danny's a major simp. Danny a major simp. That's all. That's why
I'm loving this content creator side of Michelle's cousin. I'm really, I know a lot of at the beginning was just anger because that's her family. Nobody wants to see their family get hurt. She had to sit back for many a years and play with the notion of should I not get involved, because her family, her immediate family, her mother, father, sister, people who were around her all the time didn't intervene and help her out. And it happens. I'm not saying they don't love her, but sometimes that's what families do. And then on the other token, we sometimes expect families, just because they're the family, they're supposed to jump into all your beefs. That's not always the case either. It's not that they don't love you, it's just that you chose to live that life. You chose to walk down that road. So you're going to have to live it like a grown person when you walked out that door and made that choice. But I'm loving the content creator side of her, because now that the anger has passed, but she still has a lot to say, we're now feeling her out. Well, I've been felt her out. I didn't look at her as an opportunist. I feel as though if she's on YouTube and she can get monetized and get paid for it, why not? That has nothing to do with trying to cash in on the pain from her cousin. It's a platform where that's one of the perks while helping somebody. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the benefit of it being a income stream that's coming in your home to take care of you and your family. Plus, you're helping somebody. You're doing something that you love. You know what I'm saying? That makes you feel good, and you're getting paid for it. And I don't feel as though there's anything wrong with that.
is with her. We already know that I can't violate Danny the way she did Shell. We know that. The only thing I can do to Danny is play mind games with her and pander to Danny simping. That's it. I bet you I can't stop Danny from talking to her sisters. I bet you I can't get Danny to make up horrific stories about her family. I know she can't do that. What I did to Shell, that's way past manipulation. Manipulation was just one of the many ways to keep Shell attached to her. That's it. Danny being addicted to Taylorsport and being a big old simp, man, that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. I will not, nor will she ever be able to do Danny like she did Shell. And a couple of y'all, the 1%, y'all said that in the comments on videos. Y'all said that, right? All that, I mean, Danny is Shell 2.0, Danny the new Shell. What? Are y'all kidding me? Danny is the new Shell. Please. Even I can't believe she was able to get away with that.
Opp's not going to get too far with Danny. She's trying to make Danny the new protege. But it's going to be a protege. Like I said, she's not going to get Danny to talk bad on her family. She's not going to get Danny to stop talking to her family. She's not going to get Danny to say horrific things about her family that's not true, because Danny's not built like that. Michelle comes from a different place. It doesn't make her a bad person. And she did it for the love of Queen and also fear. But I always say, what Queen was doing with Michelle, or people, anyone does to a person, and they're doing it for that person out of fear, they don't realize there really shouldn't be anything you're fearing or allowing that person to make you be in fear, because they're doing it because they've lost control. And that's the way they're going to keep you in check and in control is by putting you in fear. That's when you should know that whatever you're going through, if it's not going to work, yeah, it'll hurt, but you can at least go your way, they can go theirs, and you'll always have in your heart, which should let you know that there was something about you, that was strong. Because if they had to pump fear in you, that was because they were losing control because they were in fear of losing that control. Queen Opp losing the control of using you as um the scapegoat, the fluky to get up there and do all those skits and get humiliated and she get the bag and don't even split it half with you.
She can't, man. She can't believe she even got away with that. Please, y'all giving Opp way too much credit. She'll never be able to do Danny like that, like she did Shell. All she gonna do to Danny is play mind games with her and pander to Danny simply. Please, and Danny ain't going for that, you know. And as far as her not getting karma, that's another thing. One of the 1%ers brought up. I appreciate y'all for bringing that up. As far as her not getting karma, listen, the subject of karma can get very tricky. It can get very murky because it requires you to have an open mind and be willing to receive new information and new insight. A lot of people have a superficial, limited understanding of karma, and that's okay. That's not to say that people are unintelligent, you know. That's just what it is. A lot of people have a superficial, limited understanding of karma because everyone has different beliefs. We grew up in different cultures. People have, they subscribe to different religions. It is what it is. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. I might get into that. I might even do a video on that. Because I have a lot to share. I have a lot to share with y'all. I might even do a video on that. But I'm going to hold off on the topic of karma. I'm going to hold off on that for now. But I understand your questions as to why.
So this was quite long, but I enjoyed the conversation. There'll definitely be a part 3. And like I said, if whatever channel I end up premiering it on, I'll recap it so that the other channel can watch it if they miss it. A lot of people are used to my main channel, so they're more likely to gravitate to the main channel for these videos. But this is definitely um, exclusive, insight of why Queen Opp was able to do what she did for so long and why Michelle couldn't see it, identify it, and went through it for 15 years, and how this also affects others' lives, not just Michelle's or Queen Ops. This can happen in anyone's life behind closed doors. So hopefully you guys see this. This is Saturday, the 18th, November 18th. My goal is to edit this, put it up, and premiere it. If not, it'll go up definitely Sunday. So y'all stay blessed, and I'm out.